We're here in Ottawa. Lange joined us. You're playing tonight Flybar. Is this your first time in Ottawa playing?
Yeah, it is. And what a beautiful city it is. It's beautiful, and I haven't seen enough of it, to be honest, today, but caught a glimpse on the way past to the hotel.
So are there any expectations for you tonight yourself?
Well, I know it's quite an intimate venue, so they can be some of the most amazing nights. You really can't judge before you go somewhere. So my expectations are a good crowd, a mixed crowd possibly, some trance, some more sort of general, I suppose, clubbers, and I'm sure it's going to be good fun. Always is over here.
Is there a place you haven't had a chance to visit yet and play at and that you'd like to go?
Yeah, one place in particular, Mexico. There's been several times I've been meaning to go over to Mexico, and it's failed right at the last minute for some reason or other. So hopefully that's going to happen. If not this year, definitely next year.
So you've decided to wind down the radio show. I know very much about that. Again, I wrapped up 15 years, 525 episodes last fall. So there are obvious reasons too. Is there something that really stuck out to why you decided it was time to kind of close it up?
Yeah, I've been doing the show 7 years, and I've got some new projects coming up, and it felt like a time to kind of, wipe the slate a little bit and get ready for the next chapter. My third album, We Are Lucky People, was very much a kind of a real kind of big peak, if you like, with what I was doing and my focus, and after that I kind of need a bit of time to work out where I'm going to go next, and I feel ready to do the next the next part of the adventure, and getting rid of the show and was part of that.
Did you find that it became more of a chore than anything?
That's interesting you say that, because I do the show myself. Not everybody does their own show, and people get other people to do it, but I've always wanted to do the show myself because I see it as part of what I do. It reflects me, and I want it to be as good as it can be. And so I've never wanted to farm it out, really. But yes, it's a huge time commitment, and I have to say congratulations if you're it's going to mean you've got time to produce, because that's a really fulfilling thing to do. So. Yes, it's partly down to commitment, but like I say, new things on the horizon, and it'll be a few weeks, and I'll be sort of getting on with all that. So time will soon be filled.
Switching to production-wise, is there something that really excites you about producing today, and is there a certain aspect that you really enjoy producing?
Producing, do you know what? I've always had a love and hate relationship with producing. When you're really in the zone for producing, it's the most amazing things, particularly when things are flowing. Like when I was writing We're Lucky People, it felt like it was the best year ever for production, and it was just, I wasn't short of ideas ever. But there are those times when it doesn't work, and I had a bit of that last year, I have to say. And particularly when it's obviously your job and your main focus, you're under pressure to be able to produce stuff. So there is a bit of a love-hate relationship with producing sometimes. But I'm very excited at the moment in the studio. I'm working on some new stuff, and moving a little bit into more of a kind of tech angle, a bit more groove. I love tracks that have a lot of bounce, a lot of groove to them, and the last album and the last focus for me was very much about the kind of more emotive melodies, and I'm not going to completely shy away from those, but I wanted to put a bit more kind of more dance element into what I'm doing again, because that's what I'm enjoying playing at the moment.
Do you have a favorite plugin or so that kind of defines your sound at the moment?
I don't know about defining my sound as such, but quite clearly, I've been all over Spire for some time. That's a brilliant synth, very powerful, and also Massive has always been has been a favourite for a long time now. And other kind of more nerdy ones, I would say FabFilter. I really enjoying these FabFilter plugins, which I'm using a hell of a lot now.
Is there a classic that you've not remixed but you're looking to or like the opportunity to?
There's nothing at the moment that I'm kind of aiming to do. There's so many remakes of classics at the moment. kind of want to do some new stuff. I've done a few kind of remakes myself of late. I did Follow Me in 2013. Hold That Sucker Down was obviously an old track that I redid, and I don't like doing too many. I don't want to keep looking back too much. It's good to look back, but maybe just to pull a few influences. That's what I'm trying to do actually in the studio at the moment, is some of those kind of almost like going back to the rave days, the kind of fun elements you got, and also there's this kind of area of, we used to have this tech trance that was a really good time as well for trance music, so I'm kind of dipping in there as well. So long and short, no, there's not a track at the moment I'm wanting to do, but soon they'll all be done by the looks of it. Everyone's out there getting them at the moment.
If you could switch for one day with another DJ or producer, who would it be and why?
That's an interesting question. I'd probably switch with Calvin Harris for a day, preferably a Saturday, and take the money.
Good plan. I'll take you up on that one. You have a favorite TV show?
I do. You probably wouldn't have heard of it. I mean, I have lots of really quite embarrassing favourite TV shows, I have to say. I like a lot of like stuff I repeatedly watch on DVD. I have to say one of my favourite TV shows is actually probably not very well known over here. It's called Red Dwarf, but if I'm going to actually give something this time and this accolade of being named a favourite TV show, I would say it was probably Red Dwarf, which is a small BBC thing in the UK from like 15-20 years ago, but every now and again I just pull the old DVD out, and yeah, it's great. But as for new stuff, I mean, there's loads, Breaking Bad, all those, you know, but I thought I'd probably choose something a little bit more random.
What's the worst thing about touring and DJing?
The worst thing is, as you can imagine, is sitting on planes, basically, and I guess trying to catch up with sleep as well in between. It's frustrating when you don't have enough time. I mean, obviously I've got a lot of commitments at home as well. I've got a wife to go home to. I've got production that I want to be doing, and so I don't spend as much time as I possibly could on tour, making it easier for myself, should we say. So I do quite a lot of short runs. And yes, sleep's the hardest thing, planes, but I mean, ultimately the whole experience and the whole opportunity you've got outweighs the negatives.
And what's the best way to get music to you for you to listen to?
The best way, if it's actually a demo, is simply demo@langerecordings.com. I do have assistants, obviously, be going through those, so that's the best way. That ensures that it goes through the whole system. Actually, if you emailed me, you'd probably get less of a response, because I'm really poor at email. So definitely send it to the person who's going through all the demos at langerecordings.com.
Excellent. Looking forward very much to tonight. Thanks for meeting.
Thank you. Pleasure.